Hello, my friends, and welcome to Bali. One of the most beautiful destinations in the world. You have to visit it at least once in your life. I will show you all you need to know before coming to Bali, through your most reliable guide to the Island of Gods, giving you a few important facts and tips about Bali before visiting that can really make a difference, especially if it's your first time.
Bali is known to many, but only truly understood by a few.
Here in Bali, you could have the best time you could have in your life. Most of you will, or you could experience a terrible time. Some of you will. It all depends on knowing a few facts about this unique island that you wish to visit, understanding what you can expect where and when, and respecting some basic rules. How to behave in certain situations and what to avoid. In this video, I will give you some important information, which will help you to enjoy a fantastic holiday in Bali. Through this video, you will learn about Bali and discover what works well and what does not on the Island of Gods. Discover the island's culture and the reasons why so many travelers adore it. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and enable notifications. And share your Bali tips or ask a question in the comments below. The first thing we need to know is, where is Bali is? Bali is the most famous of the thousands of islands in Indonesia, located in Southeast Asia. The busy island of over 4 million residents has been a tourist favorite destination for decades. It's certainly the top destination in Indonesia. The wide beaches in the south and lush, volcano-dominated interior attract close to 7 million foreign tourists per year. Now, is Bali safe to visit? Yes, for sure it is considered a safe place to visit. Of course, like everywhere else in the world, where there is tourism, there is crime and scams. So don't forget to take all the usual precautions. So take care and hide your wallet and passport, and pay attention to your bags, especially in crowded places. Avoid scams. Dial 999 for emergency services. Can I travel to Bali and visiting Bali during COVID? Visa on arrival. While ASEAN countries don't need a visa at all other travelers still need a visit visa. No more quarantine and no more PCR tests for fully vaccinated travelers. Currency of Bali. The official currency for Bali and the entire of Indonesia is the Indonesian rupiah, IDR, or also shown as Rp. So now, what is the cost of traveling and accommodation in Bali? Bali is definitely not as cheap. It was 5 years ago, but also not as much expensive as the Maldives. It is a great value for money for anyone looking for a gorgeous tropical holiday. For accommodation, average of $30 to $60 per night, but also you could find prices starting from $10 per night up to $350 if you were looking for luxury and high-end. Weather in Bali. Bali is located about 8 degrees south of the equator. Therefore, you can expect a tropical, warm and humid climate all year round, with two main distinctive seasons, dry season and rainy season. Should the rainy season stop you from coming? Absolutely not. It feels hotter and more tropical for sure, but the rain doesn't ruin your holiday. Rainfall is often short. What is the best time to visit Bali? Our tip is to visit in October, January, and February are Bali's true off-season. All 3 months are officially the rainy period, which means you won't find crowds in search of perfect beach weather and diving conditions. Which are the best areas to stay and explore in Bali? There is no easy answer to this. The island is filled with so many gems beyond the main areas. Each destination in Bali is quite different from one another. If you visit Bali for the first time, take your time to watch Bali Destination Guide video. Each area offers a very different vibe, different types of nature, another choice of things to do, and different sets of travelers, and has different strengths, and also weaknesses. So whilst the below travel tips are absolutely valid, and I highly suggest taking time, if you have it, to explore and go beyond the resorts whilst on the island. Magical Ubud. The cultural center of Bali, known for art and a strong spiritual presence that inspired visitors, seekers, and traveling artists. As the cultural hub of Bali, with temples, holistic centers, yoga studios, and local markets on every corner of the street. Canggu Berawa. The best mix of all that Bali has to offer. Probably the best place in Bali these days, and still growing fast. With surfers, and if you go, you'll most likely end up with a cocktail or two at Old Man's as you watch the sun descend beyond the horizon. Don't forget a visit to Tanah, one of the most popular temples on the island. Sanur. Quiet beaches, family-friendly. A cultural fishing village on the eastern coastline of Bali, it's the perfect place for a more laid-back Balinese experience. Popular among senior tourists and families who love a casual atmosphere. Uluwatu. Home to luxury and budget travelers. Home to the very sacred temple Perolohar Uluwatu, with dozens of high-end accommodations and amazing surf breaks in Bali, and to some of the most consistent, sought-after reef breaks in the world. Seminyak. Luxury villas, bars, and nightlife. I'd suggest only staying a night or two, perhaps to kickstart your adventure. Here are some absolutely delicious cafes and beach club vibes here, and partygoers flock to the area to experience this side of paradise. Kuta and Tuban, Bali's party place for the young and wild. Kuta is a pretty party-orientated town that never sleeps, where visitors come to Kuta every year to surf, enjoy a stroll on the beautiful beach that stretches for miles, and watch the sunset before hitting the restaurants, bars, and clubs. Nusa Lembongan. Nusa Dua is an area of Bali with luxury 5* resorts that back onto the white sandy beach. When staying in Nusa Dua, the best sunset is viewed at Jimbaran Beach. It's known as the place to get your dose of fresh fish on the island. Kick back in one of the beachfront restaurants here for sunset dinners. Bali transportation tips. The best ways to get around Bali. One of the most essential aspects of your travel preparations is figuring out how to get around the island. Bali has no public transportation system that's worth being called. Also, I do not suggest renting a car. If you can ride a motor scooter, then that would be your very best option. To rent a scooter or motorbike in Bali is great. It's fun, cheap, and gives you a lot of freedom, but driving a motorbike or scooter in Bali is very dangerous if you don't know how to handle the traffic or are not proficient in driving a motorized two-wheeler. You could use download Gojek, which is like an Indonesian Uber type app. If you do take taxis, take Bluebird taxis. They are the safest and will always run the meter. Drinking water. Bali's belly is an unpleasant reaction a lot of international guests have to the local water here on the island. You're advised not to drink from the taps. Those are the most important things you should know before you come to Bali. Check the description for a list of essential tips for your best Bali experience. Have you been to Bali? What were your favorite spots? I'd love to know. Love as always, happy adventuring. Did you find this video helpful? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and enable notifications so that we can keep bringing you more awesome content. Go ahead and click the subscribe button and you won't miss any of our new videos.